Goku would return to Earth, satisfied with the defeat of Frieza, but with a strange feeling inside him. He knew that the fusion with the old man Kaioshin had changed something inside him, not only in terms of power, but also in his personality. He felt wiser, but also something different. Upon arriving at his house, Chi-Chi receives him with a mix of concern and relief. "Goku, are you okay? You've been out for too long," Chi-Chi shouted as he hugged him. "Everything is fine, Chi-Chi. You know how things are." There was a little fight, but the important thing is that Frieza is no longer a problem, Goku would answer, smiling, although his mind was somewhat distracted. Chi-Chi looked at him with her eyes closed. "More fights. Always fighting. Can't you have a normal day like any other? I'm not even surprised anymore," Chi-Chi would say. Goku listened to her, but for some reason he noticed something different. He felt a kind of attraction to Chi-Chi that he had not felt before, or at least not in the same way. Not only did he see her as his wife, but his gaze stopped more in his feminine features. He shook his head to the sides, surprised by his new thoughts. "What's going on with me?" Goku thought to himself. He knew that this was not normal. Although he had always loved Chi-Chi, he had never been the type to pay attention to such specific details. Chi-Chi would look at him in amazement. "Is something wrong, Goku? You look weird," Chi-Chi would say. Goku would quickly deny with his head, smiling. No, everything is fine. I'm just tired. It was a difficult battle," Goku said. Trying to get away from that uncomfortable feeling, Goku decides to go flying for a while to clear himself. He knew that something was not quite right inside him, and it probably had to do with the influence of the old Kaioshin. He would remember that the old Kaioshin had always had a quite questionable attitude towards women. Perhaps part of his personality had infiltrated Goku's mind. Flying through the skies, Goku would stop on a hill, observing the tranquility of the earth. It was hard to believe that just a few hours ago he had been fighting for the survival of the universe. But even in that moment of calm, he could feel the magic of the old Kaioshin revolving within him, as if he were trying to take control of his mind and emotions. Without prior notice, Goku would feel a presence behind him. It was Vegeta, who had appeared without making noise, as he always did. "So, you're back, Kakaroto," Vegeta would say, crossing his arms. "I heard about what happened to Frieza. Why didn't you call me to take care of him?" "I'm sorry, Vegeta. Things went by fast and I didn't have time. But anyway, Beerus ended up eliminating him," Goku said, turning to look at the rival. Vegeta frowned. "Beerus? Damn you, Tolgazan. I would have liked to have had a chance to finish Frieza myself," Vegeta would say. "Whatever," Goku smiled. But Vegeta would notice something different in him. His energy was different. Although Goku's ki was still the same, there was something else, something that did not belong to the Saiyan that he had always known. "Something has changed in you," Vegeta would say with his sharp eyes. "It's not just your power, it's something else." Goku sighs, knowing that he could not hide the truth for a long time. "You're right, something has changed. The old Kaioshin merged with me to save Beerus. Now his powers are inside me. Not only his power, but also part of his personality," Goku said. Vegeta would raise a confused eyebrow. "Part of his personality? What does that mean?" Vegeta would say. Goku would doubt for a moment. He was not sure how to explain it without sounding strange. "It's complicated, Vegeta. Let's say I've started to notice things differently. About me, about the world, and, well, about women," Goku said. Vegeta would remain silent for a moment, processing the information, before releasing a sarcastic laugh. "So now you're a Saiyan with the mind of an old pervert? This is ridiculous, Kakaroto. I can't wait to see how you handle that," Vegeta would say. Goku would scratch his head, being a little embarrassed. "Yes, well, I'll try to keep it under control," Goku said. Vegeta, despite his mockery, could not help but feel some concern. He knew that the magic of the old Kaioshin was not something that could be taken lightly. If Goku began to lose control of his mind or his emotions, it could become dangerous. "Listen, Kakaroto, if you lose control of yourself, I will not hesitate to stop you," Vegeta would say, seriously. Goku assented, understanding the seriousness of the situation. "Don't worry, Vegeta, I won't let that happen," Goku said. "Just one thing," Vegeta would say. "What?" Goku would answer. "Get away from my wife," Vegeta would say. Over time, Goku would try to lead a normal life on Earth, train again, take care of his family, and enjoy the peace that he had longed for. However, he could not ignore the changes that began to manifest in his behavior. He began to notice women around him more often, something that had never been part of his nature. One day, while training with Krillin, he would notice him distracted. "Hey, Goku, are you okay? You don't look focused today," Krillin would say as he dodged one of his friend's attacks. Goku shook his head, taking his thoughts out of his mind. Yes, I'm sorry, Krillin. I think I just have a lot of things in my head," Goku said. Krillin smiled. "Many things? You're always the most relaxed of all of us," Krillin would say. Goku would release a nervous laugh. "Yes, well, this time it's different. There's something in me that I can't control it totally," Goku said. Krillin would look at him curiously. "What's wrong with you, Goku? Is that because of the magic of the old Kaioshin?" Krillin would say. Goku agreed. "Yes, but it's not just his power. I feel that part of him is staying with me, and that's affecting my way of seeing the world," Goku said. Krillin would watch him for a moment before releasing a playful laugh. "Don't tell me you're becoming like Master Roshi," Krillin would say. Goku smiled. "Well, maybe a little," Goku said. "Heavens, that's so bad." Krillin's laughter would fill the air as Goku scratched his head, embarrassed by the situation. "Well, Goku, I hope you can control it. They didn't want to see you doing weird things," Krillin would say, still smiling. Goku, although embarrassed, knew that he had to learn to control those impulses. He could not let the influence of the old Kaioshin change who he was. Despite the changes in his behavior, Goku would continue to train with his friends, using the magical powers of the old Kaioshin to put them into practice. At first, it was difficult to combine his ki with magic, but little by little he would dominate both energies. One day, while he was practicing alone in a desolate field, Goku would close his eyes and begin to channel his ki and magic at the same time. The air around him shone with a mixture of golden energy and mystical particles. He knew that if he wanted to fully master his new power, he had to learn to balance both forces. "Come on, focus," Goku said. The energy around him began to form a stable aura. The magical particles that flowed from his body merged with his ki, creating a new form of energy that he had never experienced before. Goku would open his eyes, feeling the immense amount of power running through his veins. "This is incredible," Goku said with a smile. But before he could continue to explore his power, a familiar voice would resonate in his mind. "It seems that you are having fun, boy," I would say the voice. Goku would stop in second. He would recognize the voice instantly. It was the old Kaioshin, whose consciousness was still alive inside him. "Old Kaioshin, are you still here?" I would ask Goku, looking around as if he could see the old god. "Of course I'm still here. You won't get rid of me easily. But don't worry, I'm just watching you for now," said the old Kaioshin. Goku would sigh. He knew that the presence of the old Kaioshin would not disappear, and although it was useful to have his powers, he was not sure how much it could influence his long-term behavior. "Wait a minute, does that mean he's a witness to everything I see?" said Goku. "That's right," said the old Kaioshin. "Even my wife?" Goku said. "Well," said the old Kaioshin without finishing answering. "Hey, Answer, Goku said. You better not look at other things. Hehe, you don't have to worry about me, said the old Kaioshin, because I'm part of you. Hey, said Goku, but the old Kaioshin would not answer. Damn it, I have to find a way to reverse this, said Goku. Goku would return home. Chi-Chi had dinner ready. Goku didn't expect you to arrive so soon, although dinner is already ready, said Chi-Chi. At that moment, Goku would remain silent. On one hand, he admired the beauty of his wife, but on the other, he understood that the old Kaioshin also did. Yo, how cute you are, Chi-Chi, Goku said. I mean, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Goku, you blush when you say those things, Chi-Chi would say, embarrassed. No, it's wrong, I'm sorry, Goku said. Wait, what's wrong with you? Chi-Chi would say. Goku, you act strange. Well, Goku said, without knowing what else to say. One moment, are you really Goku? Chi-Chi would say seriously. Goku's attitudes would alarm Chi-Chi since he had never said anything like that before. Give me a kiss, Goku said. Chi-Chi would slap him. You are you, Oolong, always doing yours. Better get out of here, Chi-Chi would say. Oolong? Goku said. Don't play dumb. You're the same pervert as Master Roshi. Better get out of here before I finish you, Chi-Chi would say. Without being able to give explanations, Goku should leave, although he considered that he was in big trouble. Heavens, I have to get rid of the old Kaioshin as soon as possible, Goku said. Being a sorcerer is not worth it. Goku, without hesitation, would go to the Capsule Corporation in search of Vegeta. Vegeta, I need your help, Goku said. What do you want? Vegeta would say. I can't take this anymore. I'm listening to the old Kaioshin and it's annoying, Goku said. Goku, what's going on? Bulma would say. Goku could not help but observe Bulma. He would be speechless and forget everything. Hi, Bulma, Goku said, blushed. Kakaroto, leave my wife alone, Vegeta would say. Vegeta would give him a strong fist bump, throwing Goku away. He would leave the Capsule Corporation by impact. Vegeta, what's wrong with you? Bulma would say. You stay here, Vegeta would say. Vegeta would raise his ki and fly towards Goku. Kakaroto, what is your problem? I told you to stay away from my wife, Vegeta would say. I'm sorry, Vegeta. I forgot you were here, Goku said. Please, I need your help. This old man is driving me crazy. Vegeta would calm down for a moment. After that, Goku would tell him the voices he had heard. Things got more and more difficult since Goku rejected that part of the old Kaioshin. Now, he had to find a solution before he got into more trouble. Heavens, I don't know how long I can stand it, Goku said. The real old Kaioshin is a damn pervert. The situation was chaotic. Frieza had just found out about Bill's weakness. If his Kaioshin died, so would he. Frieza was attacking the sacred planet. He had just eliminated Kibito and was about to eliminate the Kaioshin and the old Kaioshin. You're a bastard, said the old Kaioshin. Shut up, said Frieza. Had I known this before, I would have eliminated them. I just have to kill that fool to get rid of Bill. Frieza would throw a ki attack at both. Both the Kaioshin and the old Kaioshin would use a barrier with all their strength, but it was too much. Look how they fight against the inevitable, said Frieza with a malicious smile. Finally, they would not bear it. The barrier would break, generating a great explosion. The Kaioshin and the old Kaioshin would be fired very far. At that moment, the Kaioshin would lose his life. The old Kaioshin would be seriously injured. You're a bastard, said the old Kaioshin. I already killed the Kaioshin. That's enough, said Frieza. Although now, with killing you, I'll have fun. Of nowhere, Goku would arrive with a flying kick that would knock Frieza down. Frieza, said Goku. You're late. With this, I already killed Bill, said Frieza. You're a bastard. I'll make you pay for that, said Goku. Goku would prepare to fight Frieza, but the call of the old Kaioshin would avoid it. Goku, get me out of here, said the old Kaioshin. Damn it, said Goku.
Goku would undoubtedly take the old Kaioshin and disappear with the teleportation. He would reach a planet with little life. "Don't worry, I'll find a way to heal you," said Goku. "There's no time," said the old Kaioshin. "Goku, it's not the Kaioshin who's tied to Bill, it's me." "Really?" said Goku. "You have to save my life, but the only way is by letting it enter you," said the old Kaioshin. "What are you talking about?" said Goku, confused. The old Kaioshin would touch Goku's chest. That way, it would become pure energy and enter Goku. The essence of the old Kaioshin, his memories, his powers, and his soul were inside Goku. They were two beings in one. "Now I understand it," said Goku. "I know everything. It was the old Kaioshin who was tied to Bill." Goku would go to Bill's planet to give the news. "Mr. Goku," said Whis, noticing something different in his energy. "Yes, some things happened," said Goku. "Mr. Bill has to know something." Goku would tell him everything that had happened. Bill was furious with Frieza, but the most important thing is that now Goku was tied to Bill by containing the old Kaioshin inside him. "So my life depends on you?" said Bill, bewildered. "Something like that," said Goku.
The good thing about this is that the old Kaioshin was a sorcerer, and that allows me to use magic. Goku now, with the powers of the old Kaioshin inside him, felt a new force running through his body. It was not only the energy of the combat that he had always dominated, but also the mystical power of magic. A completely new cover for him. He would look at his hands, feeling the flow of divine energy and ancestral wisdom merging with his own ki. "This is going to be interesting," thought Goku as he smiled. Bill, still in shock by the recent events, would get up abruptly. "Frieza is playing with fire," Bill roared, with his eyes shining with a fury barely contained. "But now my fate is in your hands, Goku." Whis would intervene, calm as always. "It seems that the circumstances have changed drastically. Mr. Goku, you must test those new powers before facing Frieza. If you underestimate him, he could take advantage of your inexperience with magic," Whis said. Goku agreed. "Yes, Whis, I will do it, but there is not much time to lose," Goku said with great determination. Immediately, Goku would concentrate his energy, and a bright and golden aura surrounded him. But this time, mixed with the glow of his ki, there were bright particles that felt old and powerful. He would close his eyes and extend a hand to the sky. "This is new," he murmured to Goku as he conjured a restoration spell, something he had never done before. In front of him, a withered flower would begin to bloom again, full of life. "Wow, this is amazing," Goku said. Whis smiled gently. "It seems that it is adapting quickly," Whis said. Goku would not wait any longer. He would immediately transport himself to the place where Frieza continued with his devastation. Apparently, Frieza would turn with a mocking smile on his face. "Wow, Goku, I thought you had escaped forever," Frieza would say with his characteristic arrogance. "But now that you are back, I can finish what I started." Goku would look at him seriously. "Frieza, what you have done is unforgivable. Now I have a new power, and this time you will not get away with yours," Goku said. "New power, please," Frieza would say. "Do not scare me with those empty threats." Frieza would throw a ki beam at Goku without prior notice, but this time Goku does not dodge it or block it the usual way. Instead, he would raise a hand and Frieza's beam would be absorbed by a magical barrier that Goku had conjured the instant. "What is that?" Frieza would say, surprised. Goku, with his new mystical wisdom, smiled. "It's Frieza magic, and thanks to the old Kaioshin, now I can use it," Goku said. "It can't be that that fool dares to speak," Beerus said between teeth. "It seems that Mr. Goku has a light mouth like the old Kaioshin," Whis said. "It's an idiot. It's sensitive information," Beerus said. "I'm not going to take a risk."
Without giving him time to react, Goku would launch an expansive wave of magical energy and combined ki. Frieza could hardly create a barrier before being thrown backwards, breaking several meters of ground. When he got up, he would notice that Goku was about to launch another attack, this time a spell that would catch him in a prison of energy. "This is impossible," Frieza screamed as he fought to free himself. "Since when can you do this?" "This is just the beginning, Frieza," Goku said in a serious tone. "I will not allow you to continue hurting more people." Furious Frieza would decide to use his golden form, exploding in power and breaking Goku's magic prison. "Don't underestimate me. Nobody stops me," Frieza would say. The battle was far from over, and although Goku had an advantage with his new magical power, Frieza was also showing why he was still one of the most feared warriors in the universe. Frieza's explosion of golden power illuminated the battlefield, and the earth trembled under his feet while the Emperor of Evil was burning, renewed in his golden form. His eyes burned with hatred, and his smile was pure malice. Goku, still in his position, observed how Frieza's strength increased at incredible levels, but he was not afraid. He knew that this battle would not be easy, but with the powers of the old Kaioshin inside him, he was more prepared than ever. "Goku!" Frieza screamed as he disappeared from sight at an incredible speed, reappearing right in front of him with a punch straight to the face. The blow would be devastating, but Goku blocks it with both hands, feeling the force of the impact run through his arms. He would retreat a few meters, but quickly stabilized while his feet sunk to the ground. "It's stronger than I remembered," Frieza thought. "Is that all you have?" he would say, Frieza, laughing with mockery. "Even with your new magic, it is still an insignificant annoyance. Let's see how well you face this," Goku murmured. His eyes would shine with determination as he concentrated both his ki and the magic of the old Kaioshin. Around him, the air would begin to distort, and a burst of mystical energy would envelop his body. Suddenly, Goku would extend his hand, forming a luminous circle in the air that expands rapidly. This is a confounding spell, designed to weaken the energy of his opponent. Frieza would see it coming, but before he could react, the circle surrounds him, draining his ki gradually. "What in the world is this?" Frieza screamed, fighting to free himself. "I will not be trapped by your cheap tricks." With a roar, Frieza would release a massive burst of his golden ki, breaking the magic circle with brute force. The earth beneath him disintegrates, and the landscape around it would begin to fracture. He swung towards Goku at a blinding speed, launching a burst of blows and kicks that Goku could barely follow. Each clash of his blows resonated like thunder. Goku blocked and dodged with skill, but Frieza did not stop. With each exchange, the terrain around him was devastated. Finally, Goku would see an opening and take the moment. With a quick movement, he would extend both hands and conjure a powerful explosion of magical energy directly towards Frieza, enveloping him in a vortex of light. "Do not underestimate the magic of the old Kaioshin," Goku screamed as the vortex turned faster and faster. Frieza, trapped in the whirlwind of energy, roared with fury and his eyes full of hate. But just as it seemed that Goku had the advantage, Frieza released a massive explosion of his golden ki, breaking the spell with brute force. With a scream of anger, he carried a massive energy sphere in his hands. "This is your end, Goku!" Frieza screamed as he threw the sphere directly at him. Goku would not have time to react. The energy sphere was about to hit him, but suddenly a figure appears right in front of him. Beerus had arrived. With a single gesture of his hand, Beerus disintegrates Frieza's energy sphere as if it were nothing. The expression on Frieza's face would go from anger to surprise, then to pure fear. "No, it can't be," Frieza would say. "You were supposed to be dead, Mr. Beerus," Goku said, disconcerted. "You didn't learn anything from the first time, Frieza," Beerus said in a calm voice, but with a threatening tone. "I won't let you play with my life or anyone else's."
Before Frieza could react, Beerus would raise his hand, and in a blink, Frieza would begin to disintegrate. His body crumbled to dust before the power of the god of destruction. "No, this can't be happening!" Frieza screamed as he disappeared. In a matter of seconds, Frieza no longer existed. Goku would look at Beerus, still surprised by the ease with which he had eliminated Frieza. "Why did you do it?" Goku would ask, confused. "I was winning, and it was my fight." Beerus would look at him with a raised eyebrow. "I wasn't going to risk it." "It's not that I doubt you, Goku, but this matter was too personal. Besides, I was getting tired of his voice," Beerus said. "Not to mention that you indirectly revealed that you had the power of the old Kaioshin. I couldn't let you beat him, and that secret would go to hell." Whis would approach, smiling gently. "It seems that everything is over for now, Mr. Goku," Whis said. Goku would breathe deeply, relieved but also somewhat frustrated. He wanted to end the battle for himself, but he understood why Beerus had intervened. However, one thing was clear. With the magic of the old Kaioshin inside him, Goku had reached a new level of power, one that would change the course of his destiny. "Well, I guess I'll have to get used to this," Goku said while looking at his hands, still feeling the flow of magic inside him. "This of being a sorcerer is great." Goku, still stunned by the blow that Vegeta had given him, floated in the air while trying to recover. He knew that the situation with the old Kaioshin had reached an unsustainable point. The fact that his impulses were dominated by that annoying part of the personality of the old god was something that he could not continue to tolerate. "It must be something before it gets worse," Goku thought, rubbing his head and feeling a mixture of guilt and frustration. He had to find a solution, and fast. After a few moments, he would decide that it would be best to talk to Piccolo. If anyone understood how to deal with the fusion of souls and consciences, it was he who had experienced something similar when he merged with Kamisama and Nail. Without wasting any more time, Goku heads to Piccolo's house in the mountains. His flight would be fast, and as he traveled through the green landscape, his mind was still tormented by the presence of the old Kaioshin. Although he did not speak, he could feel it by observing him, judging every movement he made. That constant feeling of being watched was unbearable for him. Finally, Goku lands near the waterfall where Piccolo used to meditate. There was the Namekian, sitting with his legs crossed, completely still. His power flowed in a serene way. Goku, without wanting to abruptly interrupt, would approach cautiously, but Piccolo already knew he was there. "Goku," Piccolo would say without opening his eyes, "what brings you here? I can feel that something is wrong with you." Goku would sit in front of him and sigh deeply. He didn't know where to start. "It's the old Kaioshin, Piccolo. I merged with him to save Beerus, but now I can't get him out of my mind. He's affecting my thoughts, my impulses, even my way of seeing people, especially women. He's driving me crazy," Goku said. Piccolo would slowly open his eyes and watch his friend closely. He knew that it was not a common problem, and that the influence of the old Kaioshin was much deeper than Goku imagined. "So, do you want me to help you separate yourself from that consciousness?" Piccolo said with a tone that showed his understanding of the dilemma. Goku felt hopeful. "I know you managed to separate your Kamisama soul when you merged, and I thought maybe you could teach me how to do it," Goku said. Piccolo would close his eyes again, meditating for a few seconds before answering. "Separating two fused consciousnesses would not be easy, Goku. It is not just about power, but about a balance between the body, the mind, and the spirit. The risk is enormous, because if something goes wrong, you could end up breaking your soul into pieces," Piccolo said. "Are you sure you want to take the risk?" Goku frowned. He knew it was dangerous, but he also knew he couldn't go on like this. "I'm willing to take the risk, Piccolo. I don't want to continue with that voice in my head, much less with his perverse thoughts," Goku said. "Please help me." Piccolo would watch him closely, then he said,
"Okay, I'll help you, but you must promise that you will follow my instructions to the letter," Piccolo said. Goku smiled with determination. "I will. Thank you, Piccolo," Goku said. That same night, both prepared for the ritual. Piccolo had created a circle of energy on the ground, surrounded by ancient symbols that he had learned during his spiritual training. Goku would sit in the center with his eyes closed, trying to concentrate and calm his mind. The old Kaioshin was still there, but Goku pushed him to the bottom of his consciousness. Piccolo would stand in front of him with his hands outstretched. "Listen carefully, Goku. You need to focus deeply on your essence. You must find the exact point where the old Kaioshin has merged with you. Once you locate it, I will separate them, but that will require you to temporarily divide your own soul. This is extremely dangerous," Piccolo said. Goku nodded without opening his eyes. He would focus on what Piccolo had told him, trying to find within himself that part that did not belong to him. While he was doing it, the environment around him would begin to vibrate. The energies of both warriors rose, fusing in a dance, while Piccolo began to recite ancient chants in Namekian. Goku, sweating and breathing heavily, would feel a clear presence inside him. It was the old Kaioshin, latent as a shadow. He had found it. "I have it!" Goku screamed. Piccolo, concentrated, would use his energy to break the connection between both consciousnesses. Goku would feel an immense pressure on his chest, as if something was trying to break free of his being. He screamed in agony while his energy exploded in all directions. Piccolo maintained his concentration, channeling all his spiritual force in the process. Then, something unexpected happens. Instead of freeing the old Kaioshin, Goku's soul was divided into two different identities. In a flash of blinding light, two figures of Goku appeared within the energy circle. One of the figures was Goku as they knew him, but with a calmer, wiser air. This Goku possessed the magical powers of the old Kaioshin and could feel both consciousnesses inside him. But the other figure was completely different, a wilder, more primitive Goku. This second Goku had no ability to be reborn or speak. He only knew how to fight. His energy radiated from his body uncontrollably. Without thinking twice, he leans on Goku, throwing a series of blows that he could barely dodge. The situation had come out of control. "Damn it!" Goku would exclaim with magical powers. He knew he had to do something fast.
He could not let his most primitive version destroy everything around him. Concentrating his magic, he would create a barrier to try to contain the wild Goku. It was strong, but not as much as his other half. The blows of the primitive Goku broke the barrier with each impact, and Goku, aware of his physical disadvantage, knew that he had to use his intelligence and magic to overcome this battle. "Piccolo!" Goku shouted. "Help me contain him!" Piccolo, still shocked by the situation, finally reacts. With a quick movement, both would launch into each other, colliding their fists with each other, creating a great burst. A series of bursts of energy towards the wild Goku, but it would not be enough to stop it. The primitive Goku moved like a beast, dodging attacks and launching himself again on his target. "This is worse than I imagined," Piccolo murmured. Both Gokus were powerful, but the lack of control and rationality in one of them made it incredibly dangerous. Goku, the sorcerer, decides to change his strategy. He knew he could not match the brute force of his other half, but he had the advantage of magic. He would begin to concentrate his energy in a single point, forming a golden light sphere in his hands. "This should calm you down," Goku shouted, throwing the sphere at the wild Goku. The sphere would wrap its counterpart in a magic prison, temporarily immobilizing his body. The wild Goku roared and twisted inside the prison, but the magic kept him contained, at least for the moment. "This can't last long," Goku said, breathing heavily as he kept the prison active. "We have to find a permanent solution," Piccolo felt. All I can think of is to merge again, but this time with total control, Piccolo said. Goku would deny with his head. I can't. I don't want to be in the same situation again. I have to find another way, Goku said. While both were thinking of a solution, the wild Goku began to break the magic prison. His strength was uncommon, and he knew that there was not much time left before he completely freed himself. Suddenly, the old Kaioshin would speak again in Goku's mind. It looks like you're having fun, boy. Don't worry, I can help you solve this, said the old Kaioshin. I don't want your help. You've caused enough chaos, said Goku, knowing you must be a trap to leave you alone. It may be the only option if you want to survive this, said the old Kaioshin. His tone now was more serious. I can teach you a spell that will allow you to absorb the energy of your other half, but you'll need all your magical power to execute it. I don't understand why you help me if you know I want to separate from you, said Goku. Idiot, you broke our soul. If he dies, we will die too, said the old Kaioshin. Good point, said Goku. Goku would hesitate for a moment. He did not want to depend on the old Kaioshin, but the situation was forcing him. He finally agreed. Do it. Show me the spell, said Goku. The old Kaioshin would begin to recite the words of the spell in Goku's mind. What the hell is he doing? Piccolo thought when he noticed Goku's strange attitude, since Goku spoke in his mind and did not know everything that was happening. Piccolo watched cautiously as Goku's energy began to fluctuate unusually. He knew that something strange was happening, but he could not guess what. Without wasting any more time, Goku would begin to mutter the words that the old Kaioshin had taught him, and a purple light would begin to surround him. The spell was old, full of an arcane power that he had not felt before. The wild Goku, still trapped in the magic prison, made deafening roars as he retreated, getting closer and closer to freeing himself. Piccolo, tense, would look at his friend. "What are you doing, Goku?" Piccolo would urgently ask. "It's a spell to absorb your energy, but I need more time," Goku would answer, sweating from the effort to maintain control. The primitive Goku, in his fury, would finally break the part of the magic prison, sending waves of energy that would make the ground tremble. His power was unstoppable, and the situation became more desperate with each second. Goku knew it and accelerated the chant of the spell. "Quick, Piccolo, distract him for a few more seconds," Goku screamed, seeing that the magic was about to be completed. Piccolo, without hesitation, would throw himself at the wild Goku, exchanging quick and precise blows to divert his attention. Although Piccolo was strong, he could not match the strength of that beast. Even so, his attacks would give Goku the time he needed. Finally, with a powerful cry, Goku would extend his hands, and a wave of light would envelop his wild version. The energy of both would begin to merge, while the primitive essence of Goku was absorbed into his body. Little by little, the roar of the wild Goku would fade, and calm would return to the place. Goku would fall on his knees, exhausted but triumphant. He had managed to contain his other half, but not without paying a price. The influence of the old Kaioshin was still there, even stronger. "This is not over, but for now it is under control," Goku said, nodding. Piccolo would watch in silence, knowing that the real fight was far from over. "It seems that the fusion with a god is much more complex than I thought," Piccolo said. "Goku, I'm sorry, but in this state you can only do one thing." "What thing?" Goku said. "Accept it and get out of here. Continue with the new life you have and be at peace with yourself," Piccolo said. Goku would slowly get up, still exhausted by the effort he had demanded to contain his wild version. He felt the power of the magic of the old Kaioshin flowing through his body, increasingly present and dominant.
The voice of the old man resonated in his mind, a constant companion that he could not ignore. And although he had managed to appease his other half, he knew that the battle was far from over. "It's time to make a decision, Goku," Piccolo said, crossing his arms as he watched his old friend with seriousness. "You can't go on like this. The influence of the old Kaioshin is getting stronger and stronger, and although you have managed to contain the most primitive part of you, I don't see you capable of maintaining control for long." Goku would lower his gaze with a thoughtful expression. He had tried everything within his reach to get rid of the old Kaioshin, but each effort had been in vain. The idea of continuing to live like this, with that shadow constantly lurking, was unbearable. He knew that if he lost control again, he would not only put his life in danger, but also that of his friends and loved ones. "I know, Piccolo," Goku would answer in a low voice. "I've been thinking. I can't stay here. As long as the old Kaioshin is inside me, it represents a danger to everyone. You've seen what happened to my other half. If that happens again, I might not be able to stop."
Piccolo frowned, understanding what Goku was referring to. Although he did not want to admit it, Goku was right. The discommunicating power he had shown in his wild state was terrifying, and if he ever lost control completely, no one would be safe. "And what do you plan to do? Are you going to run away?" Piccolo said coldly, although deep down he knew that this could be the best option. Goku would raise his eyes. His eyes shone with a mixture of determination and sadness. "It's not running away, Piccolo. It's the best thing I can do for now. I have to find a solution, but I won't find it here on Earth. If I stay, I'll only put everyone at risk. I have to go," Goku said. "I can't be with the others either. Being a degenerate pig, I disgust myself." Piccolo kept his eyes fixed on Goku, knowing that this decision had not been easy for him. They had both faced countless challenges together, but this seemed to be one of the most difficult. He finally assumed, accepting the difficult reality. "If you think this is the best option, I won't stop you. But Goku, keep in mind that it doesn't matter how far you go, we'll always be here to help you. You don't have to carry this alone," Piccolo said. Goku smiled slightly, grateful for the words of his friend. He knew that Piccolo, in his way, had always been someone he could trust, and his words gave him some consolation. "Thank you, Piccolo. I know, but this time it is something that I must do alone," Goku said with his firm voice, but with a touch of sadness. He knew that this was not just any farewell. This time he did not know how much or if he would ever return. Without further ado, Goku would take one last look around him. Everything would be left behind now. Rising in the air, Goku would look at Piccolo for the last time. "Take care of everyone, Piccolo. Tell Gohan, Vegeta, everyone I'm sorry and explain to them what happened," Goku said. Without waiting for an answer, Goku disappears in a flash of light, leaving the Earth behind. In deep space, Goku traveled through the immensity of space, trying to focus on a clear object. He knew that he had to find a solution to separate his soul from the old Kaioshin, but the problem was that he had no clue where to start. The old Kaioshin was still there in the background of his mind, and although he did not say anything, his presence was constant and exhausting. As he flew through the emptiness of space, his mind wandered towards the memories of his life on Earth, his children, his friends, Chi-Chi, and the others. The decision to leave them had been difficult, but he knew it was the right thing. Even so, the guilt continued to haunt him. "You can't go on like this, boy," the voice of the old Kaioshin suddenly resonated, taking him out of his thoughts. "Fleeing will not solve anything. You should have let me help you from the beginning." "Help me?" Goku would answer in a bitter tone. "Everything you've done has been complicating my life. If it weren't for you, I would never have had to leave the Earth. And if it weren't for me, he would be dead, and you probably too," said the old Kaioshin with a mocking laugh. "Admit it, Goku, you need me as much as I need you." Goku would squeeze his fists with frustration, but he knew that arguing with the old Kaioshin would not take him anywhere. He had to focus on a solution, although he had no idea where to start. In the distance, he saw a planet that seemed desolate. Without any other plan in mind, he decides to land there to take a moment and meditate. The planet was rocky, with sharp mountains that extended to the horizon. There seemed to be no life, which was perfect for Goku. He would land on top of one of the mountains and sit crossing his legs.
He needed to calm his mind, concentrate, and perhaps he would find a way to resolve this chaos. He would close his eyes and begin to meditate, trying to ignore the presence of the old Kaioshin. His breathing would become deeper, and his mind would begin to clear up. The deeper he meditated, the closer he felt the connection of the energy that flowed within him, that combination of his own strength and the magic of God. For a moment, everything seemed at peace. The old Kaioshin remained silent, as if he were also meditating next to him. In the depths of space, while Goku was still immersed in his meditation, an imposing energy shook the universe. It was a familiar presence, but its intensity made everything around him vibrate. Goku would open his eyes, feeling the fury of that being. He knew what was coming. Meanwhile, in another corner of the cosmos, Beerus, the god of destruction, was bursting with anger. His destructive energy manifested as a whirlwind of chaos around him, disintegrating everything that touched him. Beerus roared with his voice, tone imbued with despair. "How is it possible that Goku has decided to leave without consulting me? He's putting our lives in danger." Whis, as always, remained calm. "It seems that Goku has made this decision to protect his own, Mr. Beerus. However, I understand him. The situation with the old Kaioshin is complicated, and Goku does not know how to handle it," Whis said. "Anyway, he's too strong to get into trouble." "I don't care how complicated it is," Beerus interrupted, with his energy increasing with each word. "If Goku dies, I will do it too. I will not allow his stupidity to take us both to the end. Find him, Whis, now." Whis smiled lightly, raising his scepter. "Very well, Mr. Beerus. I can already perceive Goku's energy. It is quite far, but it will not be difficult to reach him. Get ready for a quick trip," Whis said. Without waiting for another answer, Whis would make a gesture, and in a matter of seconds, both disappear in a flash of light. Meanwhile, Goku, now standing on the desolate mountain, felt Beerus's energy approaching. He knew that sooner or later he would find him. He would close his eyes, accepting the inevitable. This is not going to end well, Goku thought, as the cold wind of the rocky planet swept around him. In the distance, a flash would shine in the sky, and suddenly Beerus and Whis appear before him. The fury in Beerus's eyes was palpable, and his destruction key surrounded his body like a mantle of purple fire. "Goku!" Beerus screamed out loud, taking a step towards him. "What do you think you're doing, idiot? If you had stayed, we could have solved this, but instead you've been hiding like a coward." Goku kept his gaze low, aware of Beerus's anger. "I'm not hiding, Beerus. I do it to protect others. If I lose control, I could end everything," Goku said. "I hear that old man in my mind, and he doesn't want me to get away from him." "And what do you think will happen if you die?" Beerus roared. "My life depends on yours now. If you let yourself be consumed by that magic, we'll both die. You have to come back." Whis would intervene calmly.
"I think they are both seeing this from an incorrect angle. Goku is not looking for destruction or fleeing forever. He just doesn't want to hurt his loved ones," Whis said. Goku would finally look up at Beerus. "You don't understand me, Beerus. If I stay, everything I love is in danger. And yes, I know we are linked, but I prefer to die before hurting my family or friends," Goku said. "I am not the same person as before, and the old man Kaioshin will make me make many mistakes. I know because his influence on me is stronger than I thought." Beerus would watch him, and for a moment his expression of fury softened slightly. He knew that Goku was not the one he was talking about in vain. The internal fight he was facing was more serious than I had imagined. "Listen to me well, Goku," this time with a more controlled tone. "I'm not going to let you die without you running away. You and I are going to solve this, and we will do it right now." "How?" Goku would ask. "Just stay still. You will see that everything will be fine," Beerus said. Beerus would step back a few meters to distance himself.
he would stretch his hands towards Goku. "What are you doing?" Goku said. "Just stay still," Beerus said. Beerus would applaud, and in an instant Goku would burst into a cloud of smoke. After that, a sword would appear, which would fall to the ground. "Again?" Whis said. "You're right, that old fool is a problem," Beerus said. "It's the only way I can think of to contain it." "But, Mr. Beerus, Goku will pay the broken dishes for this," Whis said. "I don't care," Beerus said. "I'm just looking for my safety." Beerus would take the sword, and he would realize that it was heavier than expected. "Damn, I didn't think it had so much power," Beerus said. "This thing weighs too much." "If you think about it, you just pressured a Kaioshin, a Saiyan, and a witch," Whis said. "That makes sense to me," Beerus said. Beerus would take the mango sword and throw it into space. It would travel at great speed through the cosmos. After a few hours, it would reach the sacred planet, where it would encroach on the ground. In that way, Goku would be sealed forever without Beerus being willing to worry about him. The days would go by, and Goku's absence would be noticeable on Earth. After that, Beerus would use the dragon's super spheres, and with them he would revive the Kaioshin Kibito. "We are alive," said the disconcerted Kaioshin. "Of course, fool," said Beerus. "Mr. Beerus, I see that you have also revived," said Kaioshin. "Shut up, idiot," said Beerus. "You were a good sir. Mr. Beerus is not linked to you, but to the old Kaioshin," said Whis. "Wow, I didn't know that," said the Kaioshin. What could happen now that Goku was sealed in a new Z-sword? Will Goku be able to free himself? And also, will Kaioshin and Kibito know the truth? We will know all that in the next part of this theory. Guys, I hope you liked the movie. Remember that if you want to see more parts and another movie of this incredible theory of Goku the Supreme Sorcerer, this video has to reach 80 likes, many comments, and subscribe for more theories. See you in the next part.
As of February 15th, 2026, and in the weeks that followed, the Dragon Ball Super franchise has entered what can best be described as a strategic transition phase. While there have been no explosive surprise announcements on the level of the 40th anniversary reveals, the developments happening behind the scenes suggest that this is a period of preparation rather than pause. Since mid-February, no brand new anime series beyond Dragon Ball Super Beerus and Dragon Ball Super The Galactic Patrol has been officially announced. However, the absence of shocking headlines should not be mistaken for inactivity. In fact, this quieter period appears to reflect a deliberate production strategy, one focused on long-term stability, quality control, and careful rollout, rather than rapid-fire reveals. For Dragon Ball Super Beerus, which remains scheduled for a fall 2026 premiere, the current stage of development is centered around refinement. Industry conversations and public production timelines indicate that animation polishing, compositing, and sound production are deep into their workflow cycles. This enhanced edition is expected to deliver cleaner character models, more dynamic lighting, improved fight choreography timing, and more cohesive pacing compared to the original 2015 broadcast. The importance of this project cannot be overstated. Dragon Ball Super Beerus is more than a nostalgic revisit, it is a structural reset. By rebuilding the early arcs with modern animation standards, Toei Animation is effectively re-establishing a visual baseline for the franchise. This ensures that when the Galactic Patrol arc begins its full adaptation, the transition feels seamless rather than jarring. Since February 15th, subtle marketing groundwork has also begun taking shape. While no major trailers have dropped yet, trademark renewals, merchandise licensing updates, and early product development cycles tied to Beerus and Galactic Patrol character designs suggest that promotional momentum is being organized in phases.
Historically, Dragon Ball marketing campaigns accelerate roughly 3 to 5 months before premiere windows, so the current calm aligns with a longer-term build. Turning to Dragon Ball Super: The Galactic Patrol, production progress remains steady. While no official premiere date has been confirmed, the series is widely understood to be in structured pre-production and early animation development. Script breakdowns, episode planning, and storyboard sequencing are typically the longest stages of an arc adaptation, especially one as expansive as the Galactic Patrol Prisoner saga. This particular storyline introduces complex energy mechanics, large-scale environmental destruction, and multiple shifting battle locations. Adapting it properly requires careful choreography and consistency. Moro's energy absorption abilities, planetary-scale draining sequences, and transformations must feel visually distinct from past villains like Jiren or Broly. That level of differentiation takes planning. Another factor shaping developments after February 15th is pacing. The Dragon Ball Super team appears committed to avoiding the rushed scheduling that affected parts of the original 2015-2018 broadcast. Instead of overlapping production deadlines too tightly, current timelines suggest more breathing room between arcs. This signals a franchise that has learned from past experience and is prioritizing sustainability. On the manga front, there have been no official confirmations of a full serialization return since mid-February. The Dragon Ball Super manga remains on extended hiatus following Akira Toriyama's passing in 2024. However, public statements prior to this period emphasized that the franchise's creative roadmap was outlined well in advance. That means future arcs, including those beyond Galactic Patrol, are believed to exist in conceptual form. Toyotaro's continued involvement ensures stylistic continuity, but the pacing of manga updates remains cautious. Rather than rushing to re-establish a monthly release schedule, the franchise appears to be coordinating its manga return carefully with anime developments. This prevents narrative overlap confusion and allows each medium to support each other strategically. Beyond the core anime and manga, February 2026 also marked increased attention toward Dragon Ball's global positioning. Licensing expansions in North America and Europe have accelerated, particularly in apparel, collectibles, and digital gaming integrations. These movements may not generate flashy headlines, but they reflect confidence in the franchise's sustained relevance. The gaming sector in particular continues to play a critical role. While no new mainline console title was announced after February 15th, ongoing support for existing Dragon Ball titles through downloadable content, balance patches, and seasonal updates keeps the brand active in competitive gaming communities. This digital presence ensures that even during anime production gaps, fan engagement remains strong. Another subtle but meaningful development after mid-February has been increased collaboration between international streaming platforms and Dragon Ball rights holders. While specific distribution deals have not been publicly detailed, streaming remains central to the franchise's global strategy. When Dragon Ball Super Beerus premieres, simultaneous or near-simultaneous international streaming is expected to minimize regional delays, a major improvement compared to earlier eras. Speculation among fans has also intensified regarding the timeline for Black Frieza's animated debut. While there is absolutely no official confirmation of his inclusion in immediate projects, discussion suggests that the Galactic Patrol arc functions as a narrative bridge. It rebuilds stakes, reinforces power scaling, and resets cosmic order before introducing even more extreme threats. However, what stands out most about the post-February 15th period is tone. There's a noticeable absence of rushed hype. Instead, communication from official channels remains measured and controlled. This disciplined silence often indicates that production teams are prioritizing execution over marketing noise. From a business standpoint, this is a strong sign. Franchises that rush announcements frequently struggle with delivery consistency. Dragon Ball Super's current trajectory suggests a long-term plan that extends well beyond 2026. As of now, fans should not expect weekly headline drops or surprise teaser trailers in the immediate future. Instead, the next significant public milestone will likely be the first full promotional trailer for Dragon Ball Super Beerus, expected several months ahead of its premiere window. Once that arrives, marketing momentum will intensify rapidly. In summary, developments since February 15, 2026 are defined less by explosive reveals and more by structured progress. Production pipelines are active, scheduling appears deliberate, licensing expansion continues, anime planning remains in motion, the manga remains cautious but not abandoned. Dragon Ball Super is not in a holding pattern, it is in construction. The foundation is being reinforced, the timeline is being aligned, and the next visible phase of this revival is approaching steadily. For longtime fans, patience may feel challenging after such a long wait, but if the current trajectory holds, the franchise is positioning itself not just for a comeback, but for a sustained era of stability and expansion. And when the next major reveal arrives, it will likely signal the true ignition point of Dragon Ball Super's next chapter.